Do you ever wonder what happens to your recyclables after you put them in the bin? Welcome to Millennium Recycling, where materials get a second chance. We recycle nearly 50,000 tons of materials every year. That's the weight of 30 elephants every day. For over 25 years, our locally owned Sioux Falls company has been working hard to keep these resources from ending up in the landfill. Let's take a journey through how we handle your recycling, from when it arrives at our facility to when it's ready for its next life. Everything starts here on the tipping floor, where local haulers and communities across the upper Midwest bring in mixed recyclables. Each truckload weighs between 3 and 6 tons, and we process around 125 tons per day. As trucks are unloaded, our team looks for anything that doesn't belong and could damage the equipment or hurt our team members. Things like metal car parts, garden hoses, clothes, large plastic items, or wood. Items like these should never be placed in your recycling bin. Next, the recyclables move into the metering drum, which spreads everything out evenly. As it rotates, the drum ensures a steady flow, preventing jams and keeping everything moving smoothly onto the sorting line. Inside a secure cage, the robots take over. They're trained to spot and remove plastic bags, whether they're empty or filled with trash. That's why it's so important to keep your recyclables loose. If they're bagged, the robots will mistake them for trash and send them to the landfill, undoing all of your efforts. Even with the robots, we still rely on our quality control team to catch anything that slips through, like electronics, toys, hangers, cords, and diapers. This is also where we remove shredded paper, the only exception to our no bags rule. If shredded paper is not contained, it gets everywhere. So bagging your shredded paper in a clear bag lets us see it, sort it, and separate it out to make sure it gets recycled. Next, we sort out cardboard with rotating screen discs. The big, rigid pieces float across the top, while smaller items like paper and plastic fall through. Once it's recycled, this cardboard often ends up right back in our community, likely part of your next doorstop delivery. We also sort out mixed paper, like junk mail, magazines, cereal boxes, and cartons, using rollers that separate out the two-dimensional paper while the three-dimensional containers continue. This paper gets recycled into new products like boxboard containers, paper packaging, tissue, and paper towels. Next, we use spinning magnets called eddy currents to sort aluminum. As the aluminum passes over, the magnetic field pushes it away from the other non-ferrous metals. In as little as 60 days, these cans can be back on store shelves as new cans. Next, powerful magnets pull out steel and tin cans from the line. As the materials move by, the magnets attract the metals and separate them from everything else. Metals and glass can be recycled endlessly without losing quality, so these should never be thrown in the trash. Throughout the process, glass is intentionally crushed to make sorting easier. Because it's heavier, gravity pulls it through screens, separating it from the lighter materials. As it moves onto conveyor belts, vacuums remove any small debris. The glass is then sent to be cleaned, sorted by color, and turned back into glass bottles or other glass items. Our optical sorters use high-speed cameras to identify different types of plastics. A burst of air then directs bottles, tubs, and jugs into the correct bin, where they're sent off to be recycled into new items like food containers, outdoor furniture, and other plastic products. Now we've reached the last chance line, the final checkpoint where we catch any remaining recyclables before the trash goes to the landfill. If we find too many recyclables, it's sent back to be sorted again. We're dedicated to recovering as much as possible and making sure nothing is wasted. Here at Millennium, we're proud to recycle about 95% of what comes through our doors, way above the national average for facilities like ours. We keep a close eye on our numbers to make sure waste stays around 5% or less, and if we notice changes, we step up our education and communication to keep things on track. Once everything is sorted, the materials are compacted into bales and shipped to processors. More than 90% of what we send out is processed right here in the Midwest. By prioritizing local processors, we reduce transportation costs, support regional businesses, and keep recycling sustainable and efficient. When you recycle, you're doing more than just reducing waste. You're boosting the local economy, conserving energy, and protecting the environment, all with one simple action: So the next time you recycle, remember to keep it loose so we can keep it moving. By reducing, reusing, and recycling, we can all rethink our waste and make a lasting impact.